Multicultural Education in the Classroom by Kelsey Jones and Journey Walton. Teaching in a responsive learning environment is a way of teaching that emphasizes social, emotional, and academic growth in a strong and safe school community. Developed by the classroom teachers, this approach consists of practical strategies for helping students build academic and social emotional competencies day in and day out, as stated by responsiveclassrooms.org. Therefore, socially responsive learning environments consist of a learning environment where students are able to explore and express themselves freely with their peers and feel comfortable in doing so. Language differences between students can cause much confusion in the classroom. Students who do not speak the primary language used in the classroom can feel left out, outcasted, and confused, while students who do speak the primary language of the classroom can feel uncomfortable due to lack of understanding. When teaching in a multilingual classroom, it is the teacher's responsibility to make all students feel comfortable and welcomed. A few ways in doing so that students will feel included can be to include a few words from the language that is not dominant in the classroom in your teaching. This approach gives the primary language speaking students an opportunity to learn new languages, as well as the students who may not speak the primary language a sense of inclusiveness and as well as acceptance. Cultural differences can be a confusing topic at first. Some students may only understand their culture and will question why people from different cultural backgrounds do, act, or respond the way that they do. Having days to educate the class on cultures can give students a higher understanding of differences and may also open up the door for students to become interested in another culture because they may find some of their traditions cool and exciting. Cultural barriers may seem like a hard topic to touch in a classroom full of students who are used to the same style of living. But when including students who are not from the primary background, it is always interesting to get a hands-on experience and examples from someone from another cultural background. Language and cultural backgrounds can cause rifts in the classroom where students are uneducated in terms of knowing about other cultures and not influenced to embrace their differences. It is our job as educators to bridge that gap between ignorance and intrigue and show our students that our differences are what make us special. Sexual orientation is becoming a more talked about topic as the years go on. In June 2015, Congress began to allow same-sex couples to get married in all 50 states. More recently, the topic of transgender people joining the military and being able to decide which public restroom facilities that they would like to use have become a rising topic in the states. When educating students on sexual orientation and making them feel as comfortable as possible, whether you're referring to the student themselves or the family situation, teachers must truly tread lightly with this topic. Ways to educate students without having biases against the topic at hand is by using educational books. This Is My Family by Pat Thomas teaches students about acceptance of same-sex couples and also ensures children who are in non-traditional families that they are just like everyone else. In the topic of gender differences, many children are raised to fit certain gender roles. Boys are usually looked at to play with trucks and are generally characterized with better math and science skills. In contrast, girls are to play with dolls and learn how to cook and clean, and are generally better in subjects such as reading and writing. Teaching students to break this barrier that limits their abilities due to their gender can allow students to explore skills that they were unaware that they were indeed skilled in. Socioeconomic status can have a tolling effect on a child, whether it be positive due to privilege or negative due to misfortune. As teachers, we must figure out a non-divisive way to make the less fortunate students feel comfortable while making students who are not bound by misfortune be accepting. Teaching students that come from different socioeconomic backgrounds can seem difficult at first. One approach to bridging the gap of separation in this topic area can be to not point out students' differences, but first speak on acceptance as a whole. Helping the students understand that we are all different and come from different home lives and backgrounds can be the beginning of social acceptance for students who were never educated on tough topics. Promoting multiculturalism and bilingualism.
Biliteracy is being able to read, write, speak, and understand two languages. Biliteracy means students have a more diverse way of expressing themselves. They have multiple words to use to express the same idea. Biliteracy can be difficult to implement in the classroom because it requires multilingual teachers, often times more teachers and books in the non-English language. However, the benefits of bilingualism far outweigh the negatives. Bilingualism promotes metacognitive skills and improves students' ability to think creatively. Bilingual students have an easier time drawing connections and understanding abstract concepts. Biliterate education may be more expensive and require more teachers, but the benefits for the students make biliterate education worth the cost. The use of multicultural books and artifacts helps students become more culturally accepting and help broaden their knowledge of the world. Parents may find multicultural studies to be a waste of time or otherwise unnecessary to their child's education. As teachers, it is our job to help parents understand that multicultural education is important. Using multicultural books can not only increase the students' awareness for other cultures, but it can also help students who are part of the culture being read about to feel more welcome in the classroom. Having parents bring cultural artifacts and talk about their culture is also a great way to involve parents in the classroom and show them the importance of multicultural education. Multicultural education promotes the acceptance of different cultures in the classroom. There may be some pushback from parents at first, but having the parents involved in multicultural education can help them see how it helps their students become more accepting of others and its importance in the classroom.
In conclusion, teaching in multicultural classrooms can be a strenuous task in itself. There are many factors that must be considered when dealing with children from different backgrounds. We must join as educators to spread the teaching style and inform our students to be open and accepting of all people.